Let's talk about a story for anyone who's ever done everything they were supposed to and still ended up feeling completely and utterly exhausted. If you've ever felt that strange emptiness after a huge victory, this one's for you. Have you ever been there? I mean, you've done the hard work, you've been faithful, maybe you've even seen a huge success, and yet when the dust settles, all you feel is this deep, profound weariness that you just can't explain.
You know, it's that feeling that, well, underneath it all, there's this quiet ache, this persistent void that can show up even when life, on paper, looks pretty good. It's a feeling a lot of us try to run from.
So let's look at someone who knew this exact feeling, the prophet Elijah. And what's so important to get right away is that this isn't a story about weak faith. Not at all. He was obedient, he was powerful, and he was about to hit a wall. Hard. I mean, just think about what he had just accomplished. This was the absolute peak of his career. He stands up to 450 false prophets, calls down fire from heaven in this huge public showdown, gets a whole nation's attention, and then ends a 3-year drought with a single prayer. It was a massive, spectacular, undeniable victory. And right after that, right on the heels of this incredible moment, Queen Jezebel sends one threat. Just one. And the same man who faced down hundreds of prophets turns and runs. He is terrified and he runs for his life. The contrast is just jarring.
And this right here is where we so often get it wrong, don't we? We feel that spiritual crash, and our first thought is, well, my faith must be weak. But Elijah's story shows us something totally different. You can be obedient, you can be powerful, and you can be completely and utterly depleted all at the same time.
So Elijah runs. He just takes off. He goes a full day's journey out into the wilderness, getting away from everybody and everything, until he can't go any farther.
He collapses under a small tree, a broom tree, and this is his prayer. This isn't some dramatic plea for attention. This is the sound of a man who has hit absolute rock bottom. He's saying, I'm done. I've got nothing left. I can't do this anymore.
And this is so crucial to understand. Elijah hadn't stopped believing in God. What had collapsed was his own human strength. He had simply reached the end of himself. His body, his mind, his spirit were just spent.
Okay, now we get to the heart of the story. Let's look really closely at how God responds, because it's probably not what you'd expect. Notice what God didn't do. He didn't show up with a lecture about courage. There was no scolding for his lack of zeal, no demands to get back to work. Instead, God's first response was just gentle. It was practical. It was care, not critique.
An angel arrives, not with some big announcement, but with a quiet, gentle touch. The instruction isn't complicated, it's a simple invitation. Arise and eat. God takes care of his most basic needs: warm food, fresh water, and maybe the most important thing of all, deep, undisturbed sleep. Elijah eats, drinks, and lies right back down. And God just lets him.
This moment right here, it shows us a really deep truth. Sometimes the most spiritual thing you can possibly do is just rest. Let that sink in for a second. Not every low point needs a 5-step plan or a deep theological answer. Sometimes our souls and our bodies just need to be still and be cared for. And God is so patient with this process. The angel actually comes back a second time, touches him again, and says, "Get up and eat, because the journey is too much for you." See, restoration isn't a one-and-done deal. God meets our needs, and then he meets them again, fully acknowledging our human limits. So what does this all mean for us? We tend to want to rush ahead to Elijah's next big mission. But the real heart of this part of the story is right here, under this tree, in the quiet, caring presence of God. What we see here, first and foremost, is God's gentleness. In a moment of crisis, we don't get a commanding voice. We get a quiet touch. We also see God's patience. There is no rush to fix Elijah. There's just this deep understanding that real recovery takes time. And maybe, most importantly, we feel God's nearness, especially when we are exhausted. He doesn't wait for us to be strong again. He meets us when we are at our absolute weakest. And really, that's the heart of it all.
This story is a powerful reminder that God's first response to our burnout isn't disappointment or a demand to try harder. It's tender, practical care. He meets us right where we are, when we feel like we can't even stand on our own.
If these kinds of quiet reflections help you pause and catch your breath, you're so welcome to subscribe and walk with us. It's an open door for anyone who needs a little space to rest.